going to share with you a file already available on your session, on the Teams. I believe all of you can view this. As you can see, we have financial calculator or financial instructions. Here, what's important to us regarding the calculator, let's start with this. I'm just showing this, so that means if you still don't get it, you can refer back to it. Here are the functions available in the calculator. As you can see, whenever you enter the settings, we're going to enter, you're going to always have number of years and I to be identified. Now, what's important to us is these symbols, PV. Once you highlight it, it will actually give you the present value. So if you fill all the information and highlight present value, you're going to end up with the results, final results, using the intersection we mentioned earlier in the chart. Now the PMT stands for the annuity, the series, and the future value, FV. Now, as you can see, we only have 3 technical assessments. That's it. Regarding the above elements, we prefer not to touch them and ignore them. In the calculator, they are set. P/Y is set for 1. Okay. C/Y is set for 1 in our calculator, according to our settings. So overall, these are the type of functions we're going to be viewing, and upon our request, it will provide us with the details. As you know, we also have something called cache button. Therefore, it is a tabulated format. This is actually what you're going to be viewing. And as you can see, X represents data entry. This is based on the 100 model. Okay. So accordingly, you enter the data according to the data on the cash flow. And once you exit, you're going to have the following functions. NPV, net present value. And to say net future value. In this settings, you only get 2 options. So if somebody says, what about if I want annuity? I will, okay, you take the figure, you save it, and you insert it in the previous compound instructions. Unfortunately, this is the way how it's handled. IRR is internal rate of return. So if everybody asking what's chapter 7, is basically clicking on this number or clicking on this request. لأن identify interest rate, identify the profit. Everything is known except this part. You click it, what does it do? It gives you. So that's why I said the later on preceding chapters is going to be very straightforward and it's going to be easy to apply. Okay, guys. This one explains as well how you use a table. Okay, as you can see, cash editor, you have NPV. We're going to go through this quickly. So this has been said. I'm going to show you an example now. We're going to refer back to our previous chapter. We're going to select the following example, and we're going to rehearse. Now, as I mentioned, we want to take things very slowly. We want to keep it in perspective. Let's look at this problem. We have dealt with this problem earlier. Okay. This problem was more or less straightforward. We had future given. We wanted to find out the present. What was the information? We had number of years and we have I. So if we all go to the calculator, there are 3 buttons of interest to us. First of all, if we look at the first row from the left side, you'll have a green buttons. One of them is written. This is compound. This is important to us. Okay, from the left-hand side, from your left-hand side, you're going to find a green button. All of you will review the following. Next to it, something of important to us. Cache. So this is the cache editor. So I have an option of using straight conversion or using a tabulated format. At the end of the row, on top, you'll find a word called SOLVE in the blue. Now, this one means once you enter the command, regardless of this or this, you have to press solve. Why? It will retrieve what's in the chart, if you remember. Now, at the end of your right-hand side below, everybody can see the following: EXE. This is execute or enter. You need to move around while you are filling the information. The only way to move around is through enter. Okay. In the middle, you will realize there is a big circle, and this is a cursor. You will have it tests you how do you want to maneuver. If we have find P given F, find P, PMT. If you want to maneuver, you need to use a cursor. And this is the one you're going to use. So this is being said. These are only the ones that we're going to be of interest, or they're going to be of interest to us. And that's why we purchase this calculator. Starting. So let's all press on the compound button. Now you have to make sure that every time the data is erased. Now there is a command. Shift and 9, it will erase everything. Okay, guys? Because tedious, every time you have to erase any information you put earlier. So throughout the process. So in this case, I have to as well erase because last time I was using this calculator. In our case, how many years were involved is 4. So I'm going to put 4 according to the highlighted bar. I'm going to put EXE. As I mentioned, I would like to move up and down. Then I'm going to put I. As you can see, please put I as the given data because it says I%. So it indicates that this is already represents the whole figure. So please do not put this. As you can see, I'm going to put 5 EXE. Now, present value is what I try to seek. I'm going to keep it 0. PMT, this is nothing to do with annual work. Again, I leave it with 0. Now, the future value. Here we have it 800, so I'm going to have to fill it in. You have to proceed upward, highlight PV, present value. What does it mean present value? It means I'm considering the interest rate. I'm speaking about value. We spoke about this and what does it define. So I'm going to put what? Sold. Now, what it has done, extracted the information according to the cell and put it in. All of you should get this number. Now, you will realize you got it into a negative. This is a financial cash flow. This was made for finance people. Finance people only have 2 settings, 2 perspectives only. If you are in a bank, you give money, you expect back. You take money from people, you expect to give them back. So now we are using this product in our settings. So unfortunately, we always have to think about this. The way I review it, I always take the number as it is. I ignore the sign. Why is this important? Because later on, when I have a complicated problem, and every time the machine flips it, I need to reconfigure my logical analysis. So what I say, just take it together, 6, 5, 8, then say, okay, already I've set it, this present work equals, this is minus, this is positive, this is negative. Okay, guys, to avoid confusion, this is their product. We cannot tamper with their functions. So this is the only thing I have to remind you. So moving onward, guys, let's have another try. We've done this. Now let's look at the function of PMT and how we're going to view it. So again, I'm going to go to CMPD. What is given? Always, if you remember, that's why we have things in perspective, 5 and 10. So please insert these data, scroll down to PMT, keeping this one as 0 because this is what we want to seek. Now, guys, you're going to put 5,000. Please make sure your future value has been set to 0. Otherwise, you will take the previous data into account. So I would like you to go back, scroll up to PV and press solve. And please give me what information you get so that I can make sure we're going to move to the second stage, which is the cash button. If you remember, we have solved this problem and we actually achieved this number. Okay. As I mentioned, you have to look at the perspective. In this case, it says can spend now minus. Now this is being said. Okay, thank you, Shuhei. I mean, okay, guys. Fatma, thank you very much. Why have I came back to this? Because here we have something called NPV equation. If you remember, we said something there is Microsoft. So if anybody is asking what are the functions in the future, here they're explained how the Excel is going to be accepting them. And look at this, if you have a cell. So you want to have a pull down menu, pull down formation. You already segregated them. Future value, PMT, rate of return, IRR, regardless. As you can see, what we're going to study in the future. And these are the spreadsheet applications. Now, guys, you didn't see a gradient. I hope you saw the screen I shared it. Let me share it with you again, guys. Okay. So these are the functions, and there are 4 pages, so you can scroll down. They're available in the book, and they're available here. And these how you actually consider them while using a function in the Excel sheet. And these are here spreadsheet application. Okay. Overall, I'm very happy. I can see people are having the same results. Means they are aware how to use the compound button. Okay, guys, we still have the cache button pending, so you're going to use it. Might as well use it in our next session, which is basically the coming part. So you can practice as we are proceeding. So guys, now, as you know, we move to chapter 3. Chapter 3 is considering something called combining factors. So I have the variables and I would like to combine them. Where are we according to our settings of a course? We have completed chapter 1, chapter 2, which was the main core. Today we're going to finalize the foundation. As you can see, what we're going to have in the future. Well, how to calculate present worth using our problems, our real problems. What about annual worth? What about rate of return? Okay, that's why I said to you guys, we will be able to proceed in a very strong pace. We don't need to actually refer back to any formula. We don't need to, we already the standard notation is available. We just have to put it in our settings. What? Engineering, settings. There is no bank, nothing, purely our settings. So what we're going to study today? We're going to look at factors, uniform series that is shifted. Arithmetic, next lecture, again shifted, and geometry. So what is shifted? Very simple. Let's take this problem. I actually have an investment. For example, I'm going to build a factory. And the income I'm going to start receiving after 3 years. If you build, you cannot build today morning to tomorrow. You're going to have the factory existing. You need some time to construct it. This period, okay, I am here, and I should expect that at year 3, I'm going to start to have the annuity. Let's say this is a machine, whatever. This is the output, and this is the time plan. So now my concern is, how do I deal with this? I need to find out the compound effect. Let me change the color to make it more sensible to us, guys. So I need to find out how to overcome this problem. And Allah is very straightforward. I use a logic called the goalkeeper. Now, our team football, what do we have? The goalpost, guys. So what do I need? I need to make sure that these entries are affecting this input, which is my final objective. So how do we do that? According to the football, we have to collect it at a certain pace. احنا قلنا before. This is year 3. According to our understanding, this is what we have been studying. I have annuity, and this is A. And when I say find P given A, I, and what does it do? It reflects and collects it here. So this is my player who will collect the information. So as you know, now what just happened? I was ended up with this scenario. So what is the task of this player? Is to say we need to transfer it to the goalkeeper. So how do we do that? If you remember, we said find P given F, R, and so what happened just now? I scored. First of all, I was able to ensure that I'm combining the effect, collecting it, sending it over. And that's why we say combining the factors. What about the N here? Collect very simple. What will be the transfer effect? Well, here, this is 2, and the problem was 6 according to the entries. So 6 minus 2, sorry, 6 minus 2 is 4. So this is going to be 4. This is going to be 2. This is the shift Today, I'm only learning about this. I'm only learning how to find P given F and identify the passing of accumulation. That's it. Today, I'm only learning this. As you know, 2 plus 4 is give me 6. Let me check. Am I doing everything in the right sense? How do I came up with 4? Okay, let's look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4. The more I actually move, it means I is considered. What about the arrows? 1, 2, 3, 4. Normally, we will learn all the way throughout this course that 4 represents the entries. 4 represents the number of periods. How about this one? Okay, 1, 2. So guys, this is being said. How do we actually write it? I will call it very simple. This part represents 2.2 times P given A. Straight away is going to be multiplied using cache button, using whatever, you're going to get this number and then reconfigure. Why? This is what I'm learning, which is 2.1, which is what? Shift. Am I able to secure it at year 0? Let me check. 4 plus 2 is 6. This was the entire period. If you get any mistake, definitely is going to be in one of these. No other mistake could be done, because if you get 7, it means you are going to minus. If you get 5, it means again you went into 5 period. Something went wrong. Double check. Look at the shift. This one is by default. Chapter 3, nobody should get this wrong. So this is shift basis. You're giving a command to shift. So I don't expect people to have a problem with this. Also, I don't have people having a problem with the I. What do I think? I think here where people will be confused. How to look at it? Just remember the goalkeeper strategy. Receive, when are you going to receive it? Definitely always before an A, we said 1 period. Automatically 3, starting year 3, 2. Starting year 4. Starting year 7. And what do you expect? 6 minus, if we say 7 to 10 years. Okay. You want to keep it? 10 minus 6. It will tell you what is the shift period and what is the remaining. This is the shift. The 6 is going to be the shift, and this one's going to be a period. Okay, guys. Identifying chapter 3, just look at it. Remember 1 period before? This is your thing. Now, we would like to learn this based on the cache button. How about that? Let's see if we all are capable of doing the following. And using compound, some people would prefer and some people wouldn't. And all means, let's start with the cache and then move on to the compound. Okay. Now we have cash button. Let's start to use it. The first thing you realize is I. What is I? Now we said still, and I'm going to put enter. As you can see, straight away, cash editor, CSH. It means, what are your entries? Well, I have cash flow, cash flow, cash flow, cash flow. So all of these, this is year 3, year, and I'm going according to a table. So let's click on EXE. We learned that this is. Now, the table, first of all, we will realize something of importance. The first column is going to be 1. So I don't see there is a 0. I see 1. Now, as you understand, I'm going to put the data as they are. I'm going to put, because here is 0. I'm going according. 1, 2, 3. What do you think here? This is my first entry. And what does it say? 500. I have to use the same signs as it is because this will consider a tabulated format. So this is going to be 4, 5, 6, 7, which is right. If you proceed. So now please proceed with the following. Make sure anything beyond this number, beyond year 7, 8 is all reset because maybe you have a problem which is earlier 7 years, 8 years. So if you don't reset that, again, it will be an issue. So at year 4, 5, 6, 7, I'm going to make sure nothing is in my proceeding this year's. It's all empty. So I'm going to do what? You have to get out from this. You have something called ESE next to the button of solve. It means exit. Now, as you all know, we highlight NPV and we press solve. And then we told you net present value. Net why? Because tabulated format. So I believe all of us were capable of getting this number. Now one guy says, okay, Doctor, I want to use a compound. So let's go for the compound button. And let's look at the parameters. So we all go to the compound button. And we say, what is this 500? This is P and P. What about LI? It's 10. Don't forget, guys, it's 4. I'm going to put a solve. Can you give me the number we're going to achieve from this part? Okay, this is quite an interesting. I prefer students to participate in this part so you can get more knowledge of the compound. Okay. Okay, guys. Now this, in a sense, should be moved to future value. But I'm trying to bring it deal with the following now. So either use a memory button. However, this information, numerical information, should be transferred to the following button, and the PV should be reset as 0. لأن you are trying to seek this. So as I mentioned, you're going to receive a number that should be recalibrated. يعني أنت عادة صياغته. How? I'm P given F. Can you tell me what is the number you're going to get? It should be the same as this number. Guys, can you verify that? So that we can move on, we make sure that we actually know how to use the calculator. We are okay. Guys. Okay. How to recalibrate? You should go whatever you found in the PV. You should memorize it, write it. I'm going to tell you why Ammar didn't get this number. You should memorize it. Okay. And then you reset this at 0 and you proceed to future value and you insert your actual data you gained. Now, guys, some of you might not actually gotten the same number. I'm always saying, check resetting the N. Should be 2. Definitely I will not change. Why? I'm dealing with a new configuration. And this one I said recalibrate. لأن please do not forget about your years. No best to go on here and you swapping on the basis of what? On 4. Okay, guys. And in case of Ammar who said I didn't get 1584, very simple. Go back, clear everything, put 4, 10, and go to PMT, keep 500. And go to the PV and highlight. Then press solve. Automatically you should get this number. لأن it retrieves it from the chart. And the chart is based on the formula. So guys, my lesson to you today, if you're going to have any recalibration, do not forget about your N. You're moving things around. You're moving numbers. You are moving from PA and then considering it as an F and reverting back to P. Yes, it's all agreeable, but please don't forget about the two years. Okay. Now, overall, guys, things are very smooth. We have done a table. We have done a complicated setting with a compound. At the same time, we learned today something called a shift. I always said P/F. This is chapter 3. Nothing will change. What will change? My N. Automatic goalkeeper effect. 3 means receiving at 2. خلاص. Whatever comes into the box earlier represents the problem. So moving onward. This is our last example because I don't want to push it forward. It's better for us to take it step by step, especially now we have an assessment on Wednesday. So it's better for us to practice on this as well. I know it's only up to the annual series, but it gives us an advantage on using the compound and the cash button. Please review them, review the previous examples. Okay. How about this? It says, find the cash flow for the combination of series and other single and series. Single. Okay, let's do this. Visualize, guys. What just happened? Goalkeeper effect. Took everything out of perspective in my imagination, kept it to a simple format. What does he want? He wants total present worth. Then you give me, guys, the full setting, the full. أنا ما بدي أنا بكامل. I want everything is given. So this is my final request, and then we can complete this session. You're going to use a cash button to find out also the total. It will be of benefit. Okay. At the end of the day, I want to see. Definitely this is going to be minus, guys. And I'm going to have a positive. As you know, I have series and a single. Series and a single. What do I want? Combine. Where P0. So can I see how the ball will move around? What is your strategy? I call it strategy. What is your strategy? Show me your strategy. But like a code. So if you show me the code, I can see whether the ball will reach year 0 or not. This is what they call it a strategy. So how are you gonna be formulating it? But like show me the standard notation. This is the only way I can read it. So I'm gonna wait with you guys. And if you can get me the final answer, that will be a bonus to us. And we made sure we are using the cash button in the right sense. أساس نتأكد. Okay, 505p given A, good, 3. 3 plus 1 is 4, excellent. See how I made sure everything is right? لأن أعرف chapter 3 is find P given F. Why do I bother about it? So what do? I just looked at 3 plus 1. Verified it. Is it 4? Yeah, well, the last entry is at tier 4, so it's correct. So this is part of it. And then he says, the second single element, find P given F5. Okay, so your strategy has been approved. We all reached year 0, so we reached the goalpost. Okay, now I can see some people are, is that you have an issue with your signs? No, actually you're reading it the right way. Yes, all of you are doing it the right way. So positive and negative. Yes, all of you are doing it right. So guys, as you can see, we are doing very well. Can you use the cash button? Let's see if you can use it right. And this is my final task. And we should complete this session. Isra, you forgot your shift. Okay, you have to complete the standard notation. Okay, I have Shade totally right. Giving the right sign as well, 882. Yes, guys, very good. Don't forget the currency. Now, I'm not focusing a lot because we're still learning. Okay, Ali as well, 3 plus 1 is 4. I'm very happy. Double checking. Partner 800, 882. Dawn, I don't know. She seems a typo mistake. Just 800. Okay, guys. Overall, again, we succeeded in completing this part. Anybody who would like to know how was the cash button entered? Where do we start? 1. Where do we end? 6. As you can see, last entry. Using the cash button. See how straightforward. What about what I learned today? I didn't learn this today. I just learned about the 3 and the 1. Okay, guys? Yes, just right. You're totally right. So what we have ensured chapter based on chapter 2.2. Now I might know that after next lecture, maybe attendance will drop a lot لأن self-study. I don't think it will require a genius to figure out this part by reading. So thank you very much also for reaching chapter 3. And hopefully next lecture, we're going to proceed on the remaining bits. What are the remaining bits? We have to deal with the arithmetic and the geometric. And this part will ensure that our foundation has been properly set so that in the future, whatever we learn is all complementary. شيء إضافة على شيء. So what did I teach you today, guys? I taught you about the shift. What is it? Find P given it. I. What about here? I just said to you, what is the period of the shift? 4. Just close the bracket and use our previous approach. Okay, so as well, we learned about the calculator, how to use it. So if you have any questions regarding what's been taught, regarding the calculator, please indicate to me before we close this lecture. So do you have any question, guys?